Hey, what's up? I'm the Zim. This is the Zim video. This is part 40 of my rideshare experience videos. Thanks a lot for joining me once again. Great to have you here. I got a bunch of stuff to get through today. I got an extended intro, shout outs, which I do every week. I'll talk about them more. How much I made, my star rating, and my topic today is Hertz, but also have some lost and found and gifts from Lyft if we get to it. So hopefully I can do this all in under 20 minutes. First off, the intro. Thank you all so much for watching the show and subscribing to the channel and engaging with it. I'm actually, ironically, weirdly, starting to make money off this channel, and it's all because of you. So it's really, really awesome. So I hope it continues. Sorry for, it was a weird story in my Road to Glastonbury version number 3 journal that I'm working on. I'll go into more details about it, but I turned off my monetization for a moment, not realizing I was actually making money, and I turned it back on. But anyways, long story short, just made. But what I'm realizing is I'm creeping up on my 500 subscriber, and I'm going to do a 500 subscriber giveaway when that time comes, because it seems like I'll be able to afford it based on the money that I'm making on this channel. It'll be a gift card to cover everything that I do. Like if you're a rideshare driver, maybe there's something you need for your car or whatever. And then if you're something, other reason you're watching this channel. So anyways, there's that. Basically, that's what's going on there. So thanks a lot for watching. I also want to remind you why I'm making these videos again. So these videos are just an experience, my experience. Oh, I'm talking fast because I want to keep this under 20 minutes. It's my experience about the rideshare driving, and I'm a human being, and sometimes they will slant toward my just emotional state of mind while I'm in this, because honestly, I'm not making enough off this job to survive to the degree that I want to. I survive to thrive to the degree I want, and it kind of gets frustrating at times because I put in a lot of work on it. And so the part of why I'm making these videos is maybe my experience can help you discover and be better and have more chance of success with the job, but also maybe like these videos might make me some money as well. So I'll make money off the driving and off the videos. And you know, those of you that have used my referral code, thanks a lot for doing that, and every once in a while I get money off of that, and the only way I can tell you about that is when I make these videos. All those kind of things, the factors all come together, hopefully, that, you know, maybe I'm not making enough off of one thing, but them coming together will help me survive and do more. Speaking of that debt, I'll mention that debt here in a second. But it just really, making these videos, I just want to give you a transparent look at what one slice of what this job is about for one person. I mean, it's not the way, it's not the only way, it's just what it is for me. And hopefully it helps you just know what you're getting into. If you're deciding to drive, if you want to change your strategy, if whatever, I mean, feel free. People have told me I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, maybe I don't, but I'm just doing it the way I feel comfortable with, and I want to share that with you. Sometimes like I said, I slant toward opinions about it, and I'm trying to keep opinions pretty free of this conversation, really just show you what I'm doing. So hope that hope this will help. Shout outs. So what I do with shout outs is just people that I'm engaging on the show, because I think that's awesome. It helps the algorithm, it helps everything, the engagement with the show. This week we got like 8 or so. Jonathan Doyle, he talked about my debt, and basically the reason I have my debt up there is because I just wanted to see if this job could make me enough money to survive and also pay off my debt, and it's not working. The reason the debt doesn't really move that much is because things come up, like just life things come up, and I just haven't had enough to make it through choices I made, sometimes just for entertainment and fun, sometimes for life, but you know, that's just the way it is. That's what's been going on. Oscar Monroe, I can't remember, 27, Oscar Monroy 27, he mentioned something about tipping. Interesting, that the Lyft app is now allowing us to rate passengers with a 24-hour delay. So I'm curious how many passenger ratings, the overall passenger ratings may start to go down, because some drivers are pretty particular about not rating well if they don't get tipped. I'm not one of those. I don't really care. I give it, unless they do something bad to me in the moment, I'm cool with 5 stars, but I do love tips. But it's just interesting to see that, and it'll be interesting to hear the conversations that maybe start coming up online because of it, the tipping idea and being able to delay the ratings. So there's that. Dominique Forever, Christina Pimentel, Chris S, Greg Williams, Moses Balderas, Sleeping Elephants. Thank you all for engaging with the channel. Keep it coming. I love your questions, thoughts, ideas, because this is what it's all about. It's about, I'll present you with what I think, what's going on in my mind, and then you just tell me what's going on in your mind and with how you do it, and maybe somebody else that reads the comments will be like, oh, I don't agree with Zim, but I agree with that guy. Maybe I'll talk to that guy more, or something like that, or girl, or whoever it may be. So, how much I made this week? Let's get into it. Let's go. Here we go. This is how much I made. My deposit this week was $842.37. In my heads-up display, I have $18 more because I got $18 in cash tips. Pretty good week. It felt really good. Much better than last week. Last week was Thanksgiving week. This week was not, obviously. Flowed really well. Something to note about this week. So I go for ride count. It's a different strategy than a lot of drivers use. Nowadays, you've heard over the last few weeks, I'm testing my strategy. I'm all in on my strategy of going for ride count, especially while I'm in the rental program. So I go for 24 rides a day. Usually gets me what I want. I usually make between $130 and $230 within that 24 rides. It can take usually around 8 to 12 hours to get those 24 rides. And it just takes away looking at time. It takes away looking at how much I'm making. And I just focus on ride count. And it makes the day go by easier for me when I'm just looking at, just get another ride. And then by the end of the week, it usually works out. I usually make my minimum of, I want to make 800 or more a week, and I did this week, and that kind of thing. And one of the things to note this week is on Thursday. Let's go to the daily slide. On Thursday this week, it was a low money day. It was like $130, but I made my 24 rides in 7 hours, and that was unheard of. It was like, oh my god. And the rest of the weekend flowed pretty darn good. So it was a really nice flow weekend. Like when I'm working, when I'm in the car and I'm actually working, it makes this job so much more sustainable in a mental state of being than it does when I'm waiting for rides, trying to find them, all that stuff. And this week in general, and this weekend especially was, or last weekend I should say, was really great in that way. So that was good. Let's get, and then the last slide I showed is my daily breakdown. That's where I drove this week. I completed my bonus rides by Saturday night, basically. I had like 3 or more to clean up on Sunday morning, but they were all anytime rides. They weren't the peak time rides, so I could just drive when I felt like. And so what happened with this week was that Sunday just felt really nice and easy and good. So it really got in my mind, like, I need to get out of the express drive programs. The burden of having to make those rides is really, really takes the fun out of this job, and I actually like this job. So I'm currently looking for a car. I'm looking Sonata, Passat, Malibu, Optima, that kind of car is what I'm looking for. If you have any suggestions, what do you think I should go for? Then let me know. I got my credit union can get a pretty good loan from them, so I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna take the plunge and make it happen, and just try to get a 2014 or better. That's my goal. Anyways, little update there. I'll let you know how that goes as time goes on. Star rating. Let's roll into the star rating. This is what I did this week. I'm pretty much coasted at a 4.9 app rating. One time this week I got up to a 5-point app rating. It was a nice week. No negative reviews, no negative flags, just cruising on through. So not really much to say about that, my star rating this week, I don't think. But yeah, interesting to see what we will do as drivers now that we can rate passengers in a 24-hour delay. So interesting. I don't really, as I said already, one of these episodes I'm going to talk about rating passengers and whatnot, but for today we'll just keep it at this. Alright, let's talk about, hopefully that's all scrolled by. If it hasn't yet, I'm just going to roll into my topic. The topic for this week is Hertz, the Hertz rental program, and I've done multiple videos already on the Hertz rental, or on the rental program, on the Express Drive program, on my experience with it. And I just want to give you, and I think it feels I've learned everything I can about the Hertz program. I've been driving in it now long enough that every part of the process I've done. I've turned in a car, I figured out what it means, and there was a moment, the biggest thing, that reason why I want to talk about this week is because I learned the last key piece. So if you've heard me talk in the past about wanting a car with leather, I think it's awesome. Well, I've learned that in the Hertz program, when you're due for an oil change, you just turn the car in and get a new car. You don't keep the car. You don't wait for it to get an oil change and then stay in the same car. You turn the car in. So it's like, oh, I didn't realize that. until now, and so there's basically there's no need or reason to get attached to any car whatsoever. You just have to, every time you have to swap out a car, just go for the one that's most comfortable for you. And you've heard me talk in the past that I like better model cars, like those ones I listed that I wanted to buy, as opposed to more of the economy type of cars. So I've talked about that before, but a couple things, just, I'm sure I've mentioned all this stuff before as well, but if you're looking to get into the rental program, a couple things to consider. If it's the Hertz program, I think the Maven program is starting to get flushed out. Not many drivers are in Maven. Everybody's switching over to the Hertz program. I'm sure all this is on the website, so you could probably go to the website and find this stuff out. But $2,500 deductible. If you get into a wreck and it's your fault, you're on the hook for that. You're on the hook for any tire damage. These are things that are, I think, important to be aware of. You're on the hook for tire damage. And I think the reason they do that, I really wish they didn't have that. I wish if there was something wrong with the car as a whole, Lyft and Hertz would take care of it, but they put you on the hook for the tire damage, and I think the reason they do that is because they don't want you to be being reckless with the car or in something, I don't know, like trying to smoke the tires or I don't know what, but they, for some reason, I don't know their reasoning behind it, they think that we as drivers should be responsible for tire damage and things like that. So that's something to consider. What else did I write down? So as you've heard me talk in the past, is the cars. So I wanted to mention this on the top was like, it's very much like a corporate, just make it happen kind of attitude that I feel versus what I felt with the Maven program. The Maven program was much more like a empathetic kind of compassion. There was a little more like, it felt more like they cared about the drivers being comfortable and everything, and then they kind of just let the drivers have autonomy. Whereas this program, you have to check in so much with what's going on. I mean, if I never had the Maven program, obviously I wouldn't have anything to compare it to. But because I do have it to compare to, it's like, wow, it's a very big difference in how they treat you. I will say, so it's like they just want to get you in the car, get you on the road, get you done. They don't really, there's not a lot of level, there's not a very high level of like, let's make sure this is the best experience for everybody we can possibly make. I do not feel that, but they do take care of you good enough. It's good enough. The people that I've worked with at the Lyft, they have, when you go pick up your car, you have Lyft people there and you have Hertz people there, and all the people have been on point. They've been great, helpful, friendly, all that stuff is great. It's just the stuff that's out of their control a little bit, like the cleanliness of the cars. All the cars are really dirty, so you're on the hook to clean them before you start driving. So that's a thing. It's not a big deal, a couple hours out of your day. I have a, car wash, a monthly car wash thing I pay for $20 a month, as many car washes as I want. So it's not a total big deal, free vacuums and all that stuff. So I just do my thing. I just go clean it, and then I bring it home and then do a more deeper clean. Like I get in the cracks more, because I just don't want to drive into a car that has everybody else's kind of dirt that's stuck in the cracks. So I do a pretty deep clean on the cars when I have them. But those are the big things. If you have any questions for me regarding it, in the description of this video, I will put the links to the other videos that I've done around the rental program. So I did a really big comprehensive review of one that kind of just, it's really long, like 40 minutes or something, and that was when I was in the Maven program, but a lot of the ideas still apply when you're talking about just the general, what it's like driving in a rental car versus your own car, things like that. And then I did a couple on the Hertz program and different things. So I'll just link them up so you can find them if you'd like, and kind of really get nerdy on it if you want, if it's helpful to you. So hopefully it's helpful to you. One thing, so let's see, anything else about Hertz? I'm not sure. So feel free to ask me questions. I'll answer any questions you have based on my experience in the comments. I would love to be helpful to you. So feel free to ask me my experience. There's not much else really to say. I mean, maybe a couple of things just to mention. you turn the car, or you like renew your rental every week. You can do it all in the app. It's pretty easy. You just hit a button on the app and just until you're ready to turn the car in. Every 28 days you have to bring the car in to be looked at and checked out and serviced if it needs to. And when they say if it needs to be serviced, it means you're turning the car in and getting another car. I brought my car down for the 28 days thing, and then they were like, well, it'll need an oil change in soon before my next 28 days. So I kept the car because I didn't like the other cars that were there, but I still have to return it in like another week or two and then get a new car. But I didn't realize that. I thought as I mentioned already, I thought they changed the oil and then you would take the same car. No, it doesn't work like that. So if there's any kind of maintenance, any kind of issue with the car, you just get a new car. They don't fix it and keep you in the same car. So anyways, that's the main point I wanted to say today. Hopefully that was helpful. We have like 4 minutes left. Couple things. So when I went down to do my car thing this week at the rental place, they gave me a couple gifts that I thought I'd show you today. They gave me these sunglasses, these Wayfair style sunglasses. They're alright. They have the Lyft logo on the side. It's going to be blurry if I go in, but there it is, the Lyft logo on the side. I've been wearing them because my other sunglasses, which are over there, are loose and they slide off, and these ones squeeze my face. So they're kind of, they work. So I've been using them while I drive around. And then they gave me a bottle opener that says Lyft on it right there. Boom. I don't know, keychain bottle opener thing. So anyways, a couple of gifts from Lyft. And then I also have one thing to add to the Lost and Found. So as you know, my Lost and Found is things that I find in the car, and I have it all in my 1K jacket box, and you can refer to old videos if you want to check out what was in them. But the newest thing, nothing special, kind of gross. Not gross totally, but a Burt's Bees lip balm I found in my car. So now that's in the box. Anyways, adding to the box, maybe I'll make some kind of sculpture out of all this stuff when I'm done. But that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. If there's anything you want to know about my experience driving for Lyft, feel free to ask and I'll give you a heads up, because, again, I want to stress this. I'm just hoping that I can help you have a transparent look at what it means to be a rideshare driver so that you can have success with it. Because I'm not trying to discourage anybody from driving. My goal is to make sure that you go, oh, okay, that's what it's. One of the biggest things that I think is pretty universal is most people think this job is easier than it really is. They think it's going to be, you're going to get rides faster than you do often. And there's a lot of downtime in this job. So that's often the thing that really gets a lot of people discouraged from doing it. The bottom line thing, I've been talking more about it lately in my comments and whatnot, is just that I think if I can take one key factor about this job to make money at it and to make it successful, regardless of what you decide to do, I really feel strongly about this, is putting in the time. It's just getting out there and driving. You're not going to be successful if you only do a couple hours here and there. You got to put in pretty significant amounts of time. The more time you put in, the more money you'll make, the happier you'll be. But if you realize that in the get, you probably will be happier. If you're thinking like, oh, I'll just drive for a couple hours and you're only making what you spent in gas that night, then you're like, well, this isn't worth it. No, it's not going to be worth it. So consider that it's all about putting in the time. And then there's tons of different YouTubers out there that have a ton of different opinions, and you should check them out, and other rideshare drivers, to check them all out. I encourage you to watch as many of these videos from all the other people as possible. If you're considering driving, considering changing your strategy, all those different things, want to learn more about it, because everybody's got an opinion. Take it all with a grain of salt and just do what you're comfortable with and do what you need to do to find success, and always ask questions. But if you want to follow along on this journey on a more daily basis, I have an Instagram page, Rideshare Zim on Instagram. I just post usually what I made that day, my start, just like what the emails come in, like in the moment, stuff I share with you here, but maybe in a little more detail. And then also, if you want to become a driver, it's Zim200, there it is. It's my referral code, so you can go ahead and use that if you like. And we both get bonuses. It varies depending on what area you start driving in. So until next time, subscribe, thumb it up, and do all that good stuff. Share it around if you want as well. Peace.